Preview.
Hello and welcome to Beyond the Buzzer. This is episode 8. A couple days ago, you saw us post the Atlantic Division, the 76ers, Raptors, Nets, Knicks, and the Celtics. Today, we are doing the Southwest Division, full of studs, minus one team, the Grizzlies. No disrespect.
Honestly, do we have to say no disrespect? Marcus Gasol, for as good as he was, he was just shy. He might have been, obviously we're doing 12 like last time. He might have been around 15. He's a talented center and won a championship with a member of our list, Kawhi Leonard. He was number 2 when he was with the Raptors on my list, only behind Larry Bird.
The
But
legend.
now he's not at 2. We'll find out where he is. But we don't have to talk about minus the Grizzlies. I am Chris Spar, cut my partner off here before he was able to introduce me. And you know what? Let's skip the formalities. We're doing the Southwest Division. Let's just get right into the Southwest Division. What do you think, Landon?
We're going to start. We'll do my list. We're at number 12. I have Anthony Davis, and I think you do too. 7 seasons with the Pelicans, 6 All-Star appearances, 3-time block champ, 3-time All-Defense, and a 23-10 stat line in the Pelicans' career.
Yeah, man.
Number 1 overall pick.
Guy is deadly. He does not let balls get past him. If you have Giant Slayer on in 2K, it doesn't matter. He's a block artist. He's got those long arms. He's a special player. I also have him at number 12. Number 11, for me, I know it was very unceremonious, number 12, but Anthony Davis is still in the league. He's only 27 years old, and he's making number 12. So let's just give him those props. And we can get on with number 11.
He's only going to get better.
Jason Kidd. And I know it's Jason Kidd. This was Mavericks Jason Kidd. He wasn't, he's just not flashy. And he was on our other list too. He was with the Nets. And he's just not flashy. He spent 8 seasons in this division, racked up 3 All-Stars and a championship. I feel like it's worthy of being on the list, especially at number 11. That's for me. What about my friend Landon here?
I got him at number 11 too. The funny thing is, he came in the league as a Maverick, right?
He did.
One season, then he got shipped off to Phoenix. And then he not finished his career, but 8 of his seasons, 7 of his seasons, it was like mid to post-career or end of career was with the Mavericks again, where he won the championship with them. Like you said, he's very flashy. We pulled up some stats. He's not much of a scorer, but he's a triple-double threat, kind of like, or that's where Lonzo has gotten his formality from. I think he's solid enough to be our number 11. But like I said, it's like we said before, it's kind of a 4-team league, not 5, or a 4-team division, not a 5-team division.
Yeah, and I like what you mentioned there with the whole Lonzo Ball thing. Coming out of college, Lonzo was compared to Jason Kidd with better scoring potential. I'd like to see that scoring potential out of Lonzo, because right now he's actually looking a lot like just a regular Jason Kidd type.
He has fixed his shot, though, a lot. I like his form now, and he's shooting a lot better from 3.
Yeah, I would have liked to see him finish this season, see how he developed, and I'm excited for his next season. Let's move on to number 10. Who do you have there?
I have Clyde the Glide Drexler, 4 seasons, 2-time All-Star, 1-time champ. Drexler is not known for his seasons with Houston. In fact, I did not know he was with Houston. His Portland days are where he has shined. But coming with Houston, Olajuwon was there, Thorpe, the Jet. So these all-stars coming together playing, and they win a couple championships. Why not? And wouldn't you know, guess who wasn't in the league then? Michael Jordan.
It was interesting, especially with Clyde. I wasn't unaware that he was with Houston either. And Landon didn't know he's the aficionado here. I, of course, I'm gonna shamelessly, throw in my show. I'm with another member of Nexus on Tank Observers. You can find that on the same network you found this, the Nexus Sports Network. My number 10, though, Chris Paul, spent 6 seasons in this division, racked up 4 All-Stars, and he was a 2-time assist champ and a 2-time steals champ, 2-time All-Defense, and averaged almost a double-double, 18, almost 19, and 9.9. So start out there. Average double-double. Guy was special.
You're not going to like me for this. I got Chris Paul a lot higher on my list. I'm not going to tell you where yet. You're going to be surprised.
I don't mind.
Okay,
Chris Paul's a special player. He deserves to be higher. I didn't put him higher because I didn't. I have Clyde higher because Clyde has that champ. Doesn't have a champ. Any champs? Chris Paul. And listen, talent is talent. Championships are why you play the game.
Exactly. Championships are everything. Reggie Miller said it the other day. Who would you rather have, this guy, LeBron James or Michael Jordan? He said Michael Jordan straight up, just because of rings. But Chris Paul, since we're on the topic, Chris Paul for your number 10. Actually, you know what? I'm going to say my Chris Paul stuff later. Let's get into number 9. Yao Ming is at my number 9. Not that talented, but 8 seasons, 8 All-Stars. I think he's going to make the list just because of that. 8-time All-Star, like I said. 5-time All-NBA. You think he made it just because he's so tall, 7'6"?
Listen, you say not that talented, but he averaged 19 points and 9 rebounds per game. He was talented. He spent 8 seasons in the NBA and had 8 All-Star appearances. Imagine if he stayed. He probably would have gotten more. Yao Ming, for maybe as oafy as he is, because you look at guys like Boban Marjanovic. But if you gave Boban Marjanovic the 30 minutes per game Yao was getting, he wouldn't have a 19-9 slash. I doubt it. I doubt he'd have. I'm pretty sure. Otherwise, wouldn't he get the minutes?
What's his per 36? I want to hear Boban's per 36 minutes.
You're really gonna make me Google something while I'm on here? Fine, I'll Google.
I kind of do because
I'll Google something while I'm on here.
I'll keep going here. Yao Ming, I say he's not that talented. I misspoke. He's talented, right? But it's hard to say a 7'6" guy is so talented, where the NBA is at that time when he was in here not so tall. Like the average height was definitely not in the 7 foot range for centers anyway. So I mean, Yao Ming could easily come in and just swat everything away, just leave him around the paint, right? So while you're getting Boban stuff, my number 8.
I have Boban stuff here. Boban's per 36 minutes every season is at least 21 points and at least 12 rebounds, with less blocks than what's his name had on his career. Yao had on his career. But that being said, he's never had over 13 minutes per game. Boban has never. So we're at least tripling his numbers.
Yeah.
Per 36 is an unfair comparison. I will not give Boban the credit here. Averaged 9.7 minutes on his career per Pro Basketball Reference.
So
7'4", 290. I'm not gonna give it to Boban that he can match up with my main man Yao Ming. Actually, particularly big fan of the Rockets.
I don't know why he's not getting minutes. He's a tall guy. I mean this league. Okay, I can see.
He's literally just not that good. He's good enough to be on a team. He's not good enough to be a sixth man. He's not good enough to be a sixth man almost anywhere.
Yeah,
maybe
I don't know.
The Hornets.
Maybe I just like him because they're European, but
yeah, those European big men have really pulled through. How's Kristaps Porzingis doing?
Hurt.
Enjoying that max contract on the bench.
Just glad we're not a Mavericks fan. So who was your number 9? Was Yao your number 9?
My number 9 was George Iceman Gervin. 9 All-Stars, 4-time scoring champ, and 26 points per game on his career. He is quite the talented forward. And I think he deserves all the credit in the world. Maybe deserves to be, on looking over this. Ignore the large ball of light to the right of my head here, or my left. Your right, maybe. I'm not sure. Ignore that large ball of light, but I have Clyde Drexler higher on my list than him. And yes, I am a big fan of championships. Get them rings. But George Gervin perhaps deserves to be higher. And I'm gonna move past my number 9 because I know
Hold on.
I know you can go all day about George Iceman Gervin here with the finger roll that he apparently invented.
So
but speak your piece.
You didn't even know who George Gervin was. I was like,
I didn't.
I was like, why is George Gervin not on your list when we were making this? And you're like, who is that? So I had to share my screen.
A lot of time in the ABA, averaging 39 points per game or however many.
Yes, but as you can see, 9-time All-Star. I think, what do you have, 12-year career in the NBA? I think that's what it said.
Yeah, something along those lines. He spent a lot of time in the NBA and had 9 All-Stars and was a 4-time scoring champ. Led the NBA in scoring 4 separate times. And, he lit the ABA up almost as much as Julius did, minus the 2 MVPs.
Yeah. So that's all I wanted to say other than he invented the finger roll. At least when I was playing horse in my driveway with my parents and a couple buddies, they'd always be like, oh, finger roll, Iceman, George Gervin. So that's where I got it from.
And getting to my number 8, which I was saying Clyde Drexler, it is Clyde the Glide. With his 4 seasons with the Rockets, he had a championship. He averaged 19 points per game in the twilight of his career. Yeah, I just feel like that's an impressive feat at roughly 34 years old. Not to mention the chip that he got with them. I mean, he was still outstanding with them, and I feel like he deserves that championship.
Like you were saying,
it earns the spot. It earns the spot.
It doesn't though. Chris, it
does though. It does though. Kawhi Leonard spent 1 season with Toronto and was number 2 on my list. In my mind, I feel like if you have a championship, who needs points if you have no championships? Who needs James Harden's 37 points per game if you're not going to make it to the finals? I dropped 70. Yeah, Devin Booker said it best. I dropped 70 points and we still lost. I don't care. 26 points per game on your career is fine, but if you're going to average 19 and win a chip, I'm sorry, I'm going to give it to Clyde. I redact my last statement. I don't wish I could change it.
Chris, Clyde Drexler was not even the 3rd best player on that team.
He didn't need to be. He didn't need to. Was Danny Ainge the best player on the Celtics when they won? No, but his ring was just as heavy. Was Eli Manning the best quarterback in the league when he beat Tom Brady in 2007? No, but he had a defense, played his part, made magical plays, and got that ring. That's why he threw so many picks later in his career. The rings were weighing his hand down. He couldn't.
Right. Okay, Chris. We'll move on now. We'll move on to.
Move on. You don't have an argument for me, do you?
No. Number 7. Chris, I'm just thinking about individual accolades. Yes, a championship's nice.
You sound like Kobe Bryant.
But a 4-time scoring champ.
Yes, a 4-time scoring champ with no
2 years
no
NBA with the Rockets.
With no NBA champs, but 4-time scoring champ. Yeah, so be it.
Okay.
Sorry, man. You don't have an argument here.
Riddle me this. Why is Yao Ming higher than Jason Kidd on your list?
Oh, man, it's almost like you, I don't know, copy and pasted my list onto yours. Yao Ming is on my list over him because 8 seasons and 8 All-Stars was incredibly impressive. His
fingers are hurting because of the rings.
Yeah, he can step on Clyde with his 6'7" size shoe. 8 seasons, 8 All-Stars, and 5 All-NBAs with a 19-9 slash. Yeah, he is my number 7. He's there. We're going to get into the real big ballers. How about we just skip number 7? Who's your number 7? And then we'll move on. And then we get into the actual, the heavyweights of this list. Because we got 6 of them.
The top of this list, the top 7 of this list is
it's a little lopsided with Yao Ming coming in at 7, and I'll do my number 6 first because
wait. My number 7 was George Gervin, or excuse me, David Robinson.
Who do you have in front of? You don't know. I thought you were the basketball aficionado. You clearly know nothing about the sport. Who do you have? Do you have George Gervin in front of David Robinson? They played for the same franchise, and Gervin came away with 0 rings.
I had Gervin at 8. I told you this, Chris.
Wait, okay, so you had Gervin at 8. So who am I missing here? Hold on. Skip ahead.
Your 7 was Yao Ming, right?
My 7 is Yao Ming.
Okay.
You're David Robinson.
Who's your 6th?
The Spurs, David Robinson.
The Admiral.
Yes, the Admiral. 14 seasons, 10 All-Stars, 2-time champion, 1-time MVP, 8 all-defenses. He has a scoring champ. He has
You know what? Time out. I'm teeing you up.
Rebound champ. 2 quad doubles.
I'm teeing you up. I'm going to put David Robinson at my 6. I am officially moving David Robinson to 6, and I'm moving James Harden down to 7. I'm looking at James Harden.
All right, we're missing a real serious piece here. I'm missing.
I told you to just wait. I told you to wait. You're going to see somebody at number 5 that you're not going to like.
No, I'm not going to like because I already know who it is.
Okay, so officially moved. David Robinson is 6. James Harden 7. Who's your 6th, Chris? Who's your 6th, Chris?
David Robinson. Yao Ming's my 7.
Yao Ming. Wow, I can't believe he's that high. Okay,
hey,
so
would you like him on your team?
Yao Ming. I don't know. I'm taking the Admiral.
Yeah, no, so am I. Two quad doubles to the name.
Yeah, the quad doubles really interest me there.
All right. So now it's time to completely ignore everything I've said for the past, 10 minutes.
I don't really know either.
At number 5, we have James Harden. 8 seasons with the Rockets, 8 All-Stars with the Rockets, 1 MVP with the Rockets, which frankly I didn't really think he deserved that MVP, and I had someone else in mind when he won it, but we don't have to talk about that. LeBron James.
Yeah,
we don't have to. You don't have to bring that up, LeBron James. But yeah, no. 2-time scoring champ. And yes, if I were building a team, I'd rather have David Robinson because the guy is just a winner and knows what the hell he's doing.
I think.
But I digress.
With the centers today, I'd so take a dominant center over a good guard.
Listen, David Robinson, he could stretch the floor, maybe not to the 3-point line, but he could drop back. And I know I always rip you for this because we love going to 2Ks for our for some topical points, but in 2K18 or 19 before they removed it, David Robinson had mid-range Deadeye Hall of Fame. Guy could do a little drop step,
Yeah.
He was a threat
from
the mid.
I feel like a lot of big men in the mid-90s could really stretch it to the mid.
Pat Ewing was another.
Yeah. I had him in mind. Alonzo Mourning, Larry Johnson. Larry Johnson was a 4, but
yeah.
LJ.
Larry Johnson was a 4, and he could even stretch that to the 3.
Oh, yeah.
He was fun. So yeah, but James Harden, that's my number 5. My heart. Who is it?
Here we go. We got Chris Paul running at Landon's number 5 spot. 6 seasons with the Hornets, 4-time All-Star, 2-time assist champion, 2-time steal, 2 times all defense, like you said. I even got some more stuff I'm going to throw in your face. Averaged 11 assists twice, Chris. Not once, not 0 times, twice.
James Harden averaged 11 assists too. James Harden was an assist champ.
Okay, listen. He's known as the point guard or the skate instructor. Who else is known as the skate instructor? I've never heard that. He's
I
a
don't
great
know, but
leader.
Jason Kidd's also known as the point guard.
He may not be a good locker room guy, but he's a great leader out on the floor. The way he's doing with right now, the Thunder, teaching those other guys, Shea Gilgeous, Alexander, and Dennis Schroeder, teaching those youngins under him. And I love the way he distributes the ball, obviously, with his 11 assists. Here we go. Wait, let me finish.
I'm no,
07
I'm
is
gonna
oh
I'm gonna
07.
cut you off real quick.
Go ahead.
Good. When we were putting this list together, we totally ignored his season spent with the Rockets. Continue.
We're talking about his seasons with the Hornets, Chris.
Okay, and the Rockets are in the Southwest too. So he was in the Southwest.
Good point. Okay, listen, Linda. The 07,
You just call me
08 season
Linda?
was incredible. He led that. Listen to the next best player on this Hornets team was David West. It was Chris Paul, David West, and then like Delonte
Is that like
West
he
with
wasn't
Chris
an all-star?
Anderson.
Is that like David West wasn't an all-star?
I don't think he was that year.
He
He
what
is
for the
one.
6 years he spent for the years he spent in NOLA, he wasn't an all-star any of them. Okay. For any of the years that Chris Paul was there.
I don't
I
know.
disagree because he's like
Chris,
2 years older than Chris Paul.
interrupt me one more time and I'm ending this call. But anyway, he led them to a number 1 seed, 58 wins. They won the first round versus the Mavericks, had Dirk, and if you have Dirk, apparently anything's possible. But they did lose to the second round to a very talented Spurs team in 7. So, in that season, he had 11.6 assists, 2.7 steals, and 21.2 points per game. So, that's Chris Paul, number 5 on Landon Poppen's list. You want my 4 now? Okay, I'm giving you my 4 right now. Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, no, it's mine too. But
Yeah, I think
I'm having a hard time counting the number of rings that Chris Paul has.
these top 4 guys are all the same for both of us, I'm pretty sure. Hence, I just copied and paste. But yeah. You got anything? Kawhi Leonard, Dirk Nowitzki,
You
Olajuwon.
put the Tony Romo of basketball above James Harden.
I like Chris Paul way better than James Harden. I'm sorry. I even went out in the driveway today and practiced a couple Chris Paul moves because they're skate instructor worthy. I'm gonna put you on ice the next time we 1v1.
That has a lot more to do with my awful defense rather than your good offense.
Watch him.
Regardless, yes, no, Dirk Nowitzki is number 3 after, of course, Kawhi Leonard, who only has 4 All-Stars on his career, but I feel like that is just completely disrespectful. Aside from that, he had 1 championship with the Spurs. He won Finals MVP, 4-time All-Defense, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, and a Steal Championship. He did all of this with his 7 seasons on the Spurs before he convinced Greg Popovich that he just straight up didn't want to be there and went to the Toronto Raptors. Next, we have Dirk Nowitzki, 21 seasons, all spent on the Mavericks, 14 All-Stars, a championship, an MVP, and a Finals MVP. I feel like I have said enough. He just refused to quit or retire, apparently. Anything to add on that one?
I still have yet to perfect the dirt fadeaway, and I think it's still going to be a little while. You might have that down, but
Nah, I use Kobe/Jordan since he literally admitted that he stole it.
yeah.
But next, number 2, Hakeem. Can we agree on that? 17 seasons, 12 All-Stars,
Yep.
2 champs, an
I think
MVP, 9 All-Defense, 2 Finals MVPs to go along with his championships. Defensive Player of the Year twice, 3-time block champ, 2-time rebound champ, and a quad double to the name. All 3 quad doubles in NBA history are on this list. Draymond could have had one, decided to score 4 points that game. Don't know how he pulled that off.
I think Dirk being number 2 over Olajuwon is a lot closer than Olajuwon being number 1 over Duncan.
it's a far second to Tim Duncan being number one. 19 seasons, of course, 15 All-Stars, 5 championships because, yeah, he did that. 2 MVPs, 15 All-Defense, and 3 Finals MVPs because, like I said, yeah, no, he can just do these things because he does those things.
And he does it so gingerly.
Yeah, no, the guy was just he was a dancer, man. He was like so smooth. All of his motions were like, eh.
Yeah. So
Guy could lay it in if there were a bed of flowers around the rims and not hit one, just because he could. Mr. Fundamentals.
and he was one hook shot, mini jump hook shot away from winning 6 rings. Right?
Yeah,
Yes.
that was tragic.
To the Heat. But I think that's our list.
I think we nailed
like
it
this
too.
list. I like my list. My list is nice.
Well, I
It's real
think
nice,
we've said it
actually.
3 times now. It is just a slightly shifted version because I did make the list and he decided because the names were solid. It was the rotation that he disagreed with.
Right.
Rotation. I just said rotation. The order that he disagreed with.
Yeah. At some points.
Thank you for
I think the
being.
biggest one was Chris Paul 10-5. But you're gonna see somebody on my starting 5 that is not even in my top 12 players for this.
Yeah, this one hurt my brain, but hey, I can't win them all because I'm me.
You want to give
But
it?
I guess you could open with your starting 5.
I kind of.
Nate is first.
I think my point guard's kind of given at this point. I already
Yeah,
mentioned.
he was only number 5 ahead of 2-time champion and 14
Okay,
and
so
10-time
Chris Paul
All-Star
is
David
my
Robinson.
point guard. I just love the way he can distribute the ball. I think Harden made a good case for being my point guard, but I have to go with the skate instructor
It's all
or
you.
point guard.
I'm not allowed to argue with your thing. I'll berate you enough when I'm doing my top 5. How about that?
So am I just you want? I'm gonna do my whole
Yeah,
starting.
run through. The floor is yours, sir.
Okay, number 2, running the 2 is not gonna be James Harden or Jason Kidd or Clyde the Glide Drexler. It's gonna be Manu Ginobili. You weren't expecting that there, were you, bud? I think
I
Manu.
certainly wasn't,
I
and I
think
knew this list before it happened.
Manu Ginobili plays better with Chris Paul. Just the way he plays a little bit better defense than the other 2 guys, Harden and Drexler. He is normally a 6th man, but I'm just gonna start him because he's gonna be great for me. He's a solid slasher, sneaky defensive man. I like that word right there, sneaky. The funny thing about him, he never played 82 games, ever. Never got over 20 points per game. But I was always high teens. Always high teens. 6-man primary kind of guy. But he just felt more important to that. I don't know why he felt more important to that. Maybe he just played better coming off the bench. But he averaged 13 points per game, 44 from the field, 82 from the line, and averaged just under 4 assists per game. Running up at my 3, Kawhi Leonard. Along with KD, they kind of brought back the mid-range. Defense is very impressive and important to him. He takes so much pride in it. Locking up LeBron James in the playoffs when he won his first ring. And he has shown he can carry a team or carry a bunch of role players when he won his second ring with the Raptors. Number 4, if this guy is not in your 4, Topher, we're going to have a problem. Mr. Fundamental. It's kind of all that needs to be said. I do have this crazy idea. You know how Tim Duncan is kind of awkward? I feel like Tim Duncan kind of gave Leonard his awkwardness. And that's why we call him Mr. Fun Guy.
The fun guy. Yeah.
And here's a thing, Chris. Me and you kind of both overlooked him. We kind of said that a little bit earlier, but when we were looking at his stats, we were like, this guy's pretty good. Really didn't see him as this potential top 10 player of all time. And then my center, Hakeem the Dream, created the Dream Shake, used that a couple times in my arsenal. But Chris very much said it all. He's 17 seasons, 12-time All-Star, 2 times champ. And I'll stop there because 2-time champ kind of says it all.
My turn. And yeah, I do like your starting 5. I would say more about it, but like, here's the thing. When it comes to starting 5s, there's not really much you can change up because we just told you what we think are the top players ever in this division. So you figure you can't shift too much in it. All right. Well, I'm not shifting too much in it. I'll even start from the bottom up. My 5 is going to be Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon. Guy had a quad double, 2 chips, 2 Finals MVPs, Defensive Player of the Year twice, 3-time block champ. What more can you say about him that Landon and I already haven't? Next, Tim Duncan, because he's Tim Duncan. My 3 is going to be Kawhi, because the guy is just clamps. But this is where it changes. Fat butt here. I'd rather have a role player than a stud. James Harden's not the 2. He wasn't Landon's 2. And my 2 isn't going to be Manu Ginobili either because he's a 6th man.
Interesting.
How it is. Guy, he's just not a starter. He's a 6th man. He's a multi-time 6th man of the year. And he's won championships as a 6th man. So he should be happy being a 6th man. And I hope that he is. Because he's going to be my 6th man too. Because my starter is going to be Clyde the Glide.
Interesting.
And here's the thing. The dude is a clamp artist. And I know he did a lot of his best work in Portland. Portland's where he won his all defense teams. He won a few of them there. And yeah, he was an old man on Houston. He's going to be an old man on my team. He's going to win a championship as an old man on my team. Because my number 1 is going to be the biggest ball hog, arguably, in the history of the sport, James Harden. Because his 1 season as a point guard, he led the league in assists and almost averaged 12 a game. He's going to be my point guard, and he's also going to take as many shots as he wants from half court because we have the Dream and Tim Duncan in the paint. So
I just can't wait for the 9-time all-defensive player, Chris Paul, to pickpocket him every time he does his little baby steps behind the arc.
So you mean 2-time all-defense? He only played 6 seasons in NOLA.
Well, I mean 9-time all-time. Excuse me.
Yeah, if you want to get into all defense, then yeah, Manu's going to get if you're going to get into his all-time stats, yeah, Manu's going to get clamped by a multi-time all-defense player too. So sorry to break your heart.
So I guess that's
who's never been on an all-defense team? Manu Ginobili, so Clyde can go to work. Why not? Yeah, I'll take it.
It'd be interesting. It wouldn't be so much interesting because we kind of have the same players, but
yeah, I'd love to see it. Tim Duncan versus Tim Duncan. I mean, if you want to change it up, yeah, sure. I'll take Dirk. I'll take Dirk, David Robinson, and George Gervin instead of the 3 you have, and then I'll lose because Dirk Nowitzki and James Harden are going to combine for 70 points, and then we're going to lose 98 to 10. Fucking cut that. You can just cut that whole part about me rambling on about how much my team's going to get smacked. Just cut it when I start bringing up Dirk.
I'll just do my outro.
Yeah, do your outro and you can leave it there.
Okay, so there was our list, our top 12 players in the Southwest Division. Grizzlies, Rockets.
Minus the Grizzlies.
Pelicans, Dallas, and the Mavericks and the Spurs, minus the Grizzlies.
Yes, the all-time best players for the Spurs, Rockets, Mavs. Mavs, and
1 player.
There's another one there. NOLA. There you go, Pelicans. / Hornets. Because that happened for a little bit.
As for Chris Barr, I'm Landon Potvin, and this was Beyond the Buzzer. Thank you for tuning in.